Hi everybody. My daughter's being wild right now. I'm just like, okay. So, I am making this video for an autistic family. Okay. For the record, just so everybody knows, and for the family knows, I'm autistic. I was nonverbal till I was 7, and I stopped talking from ages 10 to 11 again. And yeah, I grew up in a very dysfunctional home, and I believe that's why I went into shutdown mode again. Shutdown mode is very real. When I started to try to come out of my autism, like not come out of my autism, but overcome my challenges with my autism, then everybody started holding me to this very high standard and expected me to like be, right there. And it was very hard. I was trying so hard just to get to that point. So when they did that, I think it made me feel very overwhelmed, and I went into shutdown mode, and then I stopped talking again. Okay? I have 2 autistic kids today. So it's not just my personal experience with my autism. I actually am a parent with 2 autistic kids. I'm a single mom with 2 autistic children. So I think I kind of know what I'm talking about, And I just want to share my experience with you guys. So there is this family, and they're saying that they have a 7-year-old Asperger's. They just recently told them that they're diagnosed level 1 Asperger's. I don't like that term, and what I just explained to you guys, that's why I don't like that term. It's because I was diagnosed low functioning most of my childhood. And then when I started to try, they're like, okay, we're going to change that diagnosis to Asperger's. Now, they didn't really diagnose me, for the record. My parents didn't want to tell anybody that I was on the spectrum. They didn't understand what it was, and they thought that it was mental illness. They didn't know if I was mentally challenged. They didn't know what the term was, and they were just really scared and worried about anybody finding out. It was a different time back then. Today I would be like, you're an asshole, but it was a different time. I have to humanize them, and they had a lot of their own dysfunctional crap going on. So I don't want to be be too hard on anybody, Just going to tell you my own experience, okay? And I had behaviors that were very hyperactive. They were so bad that they would lock me in the room all the time. They didn't know how to handle my behavior. They were like, better than me hit you, I'm just going to lock you in the room and be like, let me know when Ashley's ready to come out. That's what they tell me all the time. It's like engraved in my memory. I'll never forget that. Let me know when Ashley's ready to come out. And it kind of made me feel like I was mentally ill, like I was multi-personality, and it was just wow, it's old. Now that I'm older, I'm like, that's really fucked up, but at the same time, they didn't know what they were doing. I don't think they knew what they were doing, and so I can't really so I want to let them go on that part, but for the parents, I want to reassure you that I had all these behavioral issues so bad to where they locked me in a room all the time. And so I want you to have hope. Your child is going to overcome the hyperactiveness. That on meds, please don't do that. They put me on meds when I was younger, and now to this day, if I don't take a particular medication, I can have seizures. I was actually hospitalized. I almost died. So it's not a clinical disorder, okay? It's not even a disorder. It's a neurological difference. And that's the difference. Okay? Just try to teach them emotional awareness. If they're hitting you and swatting at you, and try to be like, oh, that hurts, ow, get very dramatic play in it to where they learn that they're hurting people. Now you gotta be an actor, okay? Put your acting cap on, okay? And if they are hyperactive and they're not, paying attention, get them involved, I have, I know from my own personal experience, and I know how my son is. My son's nonverbal. He's going to be 11. Gentle giant. Never hits or never does anything like that. Because I started getting him involved when he was very young. I already knew how it goes because I went through it myself as, being autistic. And get them to help and always verbalize, whether they're verbal or not. Always verbalize how much you appreciate them, how good they're being. I used to always tell Ozzy, I tell everybody Ozzy's a good boy. Ozzy's a good boy. He always helps mom. He's such a good dude. I always tell my son that. And my son is always happy. He's just like, yeah, I'm a good dude. You know? And I think it's really important to always encourage your child with autism because they are super nice. We're very nice and we're very honest and we have a lot of good qualities. You just have to like encourage that. Like, don't be like, oh my God, what's wrong with my son? Oh, I'm failing them, you know? Don't do that. There's nothing wrong with your kid. They are just, neurologically, we are wired differently. And we interpret stimulation differently. Emotions kind of make us freak out when we're younger. Because we don't know how to, like, you know, manage all that stimulation from the emotions because we don't understand it. Anything that you don't understand causes stimulation. But that's for neurotypicals too. So imagine us struggling to like communicate and struggling to like understand and feeling that there's a difference without knowing what it is. You know, be more sensitive to your kid. I think that you just need to just ride it out with them. And honestly, I know it's hard, but one of the parents try to be home with them. One of them needs to take off from work, go on a budget if you need to. It's very important in the very beginning years of their life, especially at least until they're like 10 or something, just to make sure that they have that installed into like, you know, having somebody that's like, you know, careless around them or somebody that is not acknowledging that they're special, you know, that they're different and not being sensitive to, you know, not understanding their sensitivity to stimulation. You're going to want to, spend a lot of time with them, bond with them, talk to them as much as you can. Let me tell you, whether they talk or not, talk to them and always be very loving and very expressive in the way that you talk. Super important. Because whether they talk or whether they express the way that you are used to, you know, that you expect them to, they understand everything. They just may not be able to express it, but it will show in the behavior. Okay? Always do that. And if you guys have any questions at all, you are very welcome to message me. I have my Facebook and I have my YouTube channel and I have my TikTok, Autistic Army. So feel free to message me. I have no problem and I am very happy to help.